Hello, hello, y'all. Welcome. It's Amber here
And
Heather. And, we work with so many different types of people. We have a lot of stories related to our clients. And we learn a lot, too, from...
We love our people.
We do.
But people are funny.
They
and
are.
We have to laugh sometimes. A lot more than others.
No. And Heather, I want you to share with everyone why you wouldn't make a good vegan.
Oh, bless it. So, I did mention this before that I have a client who we were talking about food and we were talking about nuts. Now, I have mentioned before that I'm very funny about food. I'm a very picky eater. And I will say that since I have become a good friend of Amber's and I have aged a little bit, I have tried more food and different types of food that I probably would have never even attempted to try anytime in my younger life. And much to my husband's amazement, I will eat mushrooms now, even though I know that they're fungus and they grow out of the trees and stuff. Anyway, I will consume a mushroom or two. But anywho, I was talking to this client and we were talking about nuts, and I really only like salted peanuts. I will do a boiled peanuts, but that's really it. I'm not really, and occasionally maybe an almond or a pecan, however you want to say it, if they're covered in chocolate. But anyway, she was talking about, she's like, oh, and cashews. And I'm like, I can't do cashews. Cannot stand the smell of cashews. Cannot stand even to remotely, if they're in a dish, I will find them. The first crunch, boom, it's there. And I said that I didn't like cashews. And she's like, you wouldn't make a good vegan then. And I'm thinking, Lord, if that's the only reason that I would not make a good vegan, then okay. But I can give you a laundry list of other reasons why I would not make a good vegan.
Oh, my goodness, yes.
Not just because of the cashews.
Right?
Yes.
And I just want to make a note that peanuts are legumes. They're not
legumes.
nuts.
That's
just,
all right.
I know
That's
you
okay.
know that,
No,
but I just want to say that,
Yes.
we actually do know what we're talking about.
We do.
But I also would not make a good vegan because I tried to do it for a while. I wish I could remember the name of the book that somebody told me to read.
Was there somebody pretty on the cover?
Two pretty skinny girls, Of course, we all want to be vegan so we can look like them, whatever. So I was in a contest, and this was before I knew as much as I know now about nutrition. So I had a basic understanding back then,
Yes.
but I know a ton more now. So I decided that I was going to try to follow this vegan diet, right? And keep in mind that if you are going to eat vegan, you are not getting all of the nutrients that you need. And I did fine for a while, and then, oh my gosh, not so much. I remember feeling like somebody had just pulled the plug. Like it was a balloon and somebody untied it, and it was just like, that's what I felt like. Like I had no energy. Now I understand why.
Yes.
I wasn't combining foods properly.
Right.
I wasn't getting the nutrients that I needed.
Yes.
And your girl here is going to eat some protein, okay? So that did not last very long. And also because of what I know about how the body works, I would not give up my protein now. No, absolutely not, because I am focused on...
You're eating more.
Right?
Right?
I'm focused on maintaining my muscle mass, and you have to have protein. And listen, I know there's people out there that are like, you can get all the protein that you need from plants. It's bull malarkey, y'all. You ain't getting enough protein from your plants, okay?
You need some animal. That's why they're there.
And I will tell you, so here is an experience that I have had. And please know when I share stories, I am never making fun of someone or trying to be negative about it. I use them as, this is my experience, this is what I saw, and I hope that it will help someone.
Yes.
So I have had several clients due to religious reasons who ate vegan and vegetarian. Typically they were, the ones that I worked with were vegetarian.
Yes.
So they would eat cheese or eggs or things like that, honey, things that come from animals that weren't an animal specifically.
Right.
most of them, the ones that I worked with, had trouble maintaining their weight. They were overweight and they didn't like that.
Right.
And when I started to evaluate what they were eating, I'm like, no freaking wonder. You're like pounded in.
Yes.
Now, carbs are fine and we eat carbs here, but there has to be a balance in all things.
Balance.
So they're like pounding in all of these carbs. Not really a whole lot of vegetables, because they were focused on the rice and the, potatoes and all these things. And then tons of fat. They're like loading everything down with cheese and nuts. And I'm like, this is way too much and you're not getting enough protein. And people always think, oh, I'm eating nuts. They have protein on them. Y'all, nuts are a fat source. They're fat and they have a little tiny bit of protein in them. And then same thing with cheese. Cheese has fat and carbs and a tiny bit of protein in it.
Right.
So when you think that you're eating these things and you're getting protein from it, you are, but it's not your main protein source. It's a main fat source typically is what's happening.
Yes.
So that imbalance of having too much of the carbs and fat and not enough of the protein was really part of the problem that I was seeing with a lot of my vegetarians that I was working with. So, and I really feel like people feel that they're a little superior. Not my clients that came to me, not them. But sometimes people feel a little superior because they're like, I'm a vegan. I'm a vegetarian. And it's like, no way that you eat is superior above anyone else.
I was a vegetarian for like a week. So I've already established the fact that I'm a meat and potatoes kind of gal, right? So in my adult life, as I was making these transitions, I decided I needed to get braces. Well, when I got braces, then I needed to have my wisdom teeth pulled. So I had all 4 wisdom teeth pulled while I had braces, and I was a vegetarian for a week. So it was probably after maybe day 3 of just eating really soups and nothing that was very chewy or anything. I'm thinking, I'm a vegetarian. And I felt a little superior for like a few minutes. I'm like, look at me go. Y'all, that didn't last. I need, as soon as like I could start, manipulating my mouth and it wouldn't hurt me, I was back to eating any kind of meat that I could get in there. Because my body, your body will crave things.
Yes.
It will crave, it's a known fact. Your body will crave things that it needs. So when you have, you're not, this is probably a very poor example, but you're watching that hamburger commercial on there. Your body is probably trying to tell you, you might need to, and not that imitation burger stuff, but you might need some meat and some vegetables and some carbs. We all need, like she said, we need balance. You need everything. Our bodies were not designed to work on 2 of the 3 or 4 or that not just 1 or 2 at a time. We need all of them. We need balance, unless of course you've got some special medical condition. Otherwise, like I said, different people process things differently. So this is not across the board, but the diet industry is selling it as across the board.
Absolutely.
This works for this group of people, so it's going to work for you.
Right.
That's not it. So yes, I was a superior vegan for 5 minutes.
Superior vegetarian.
Sorry. Yes. No. Yeah. I'm not going to make the vegan.
Vegetarian. No, thank you. Yes, and we don't. Why do we need to label ourselves?
Yes.
Let us let it go.
It
doesn't matter. Yes, just eat what makes you feel your absolute best.
Yes.
That's what you want to focus on with food, is what makes you feel good.
Yes.
And sometimes that's a little bit of a science experiment. And as just like we said, you and I are totally different in our likes and what we eat, but we both eat healthy. We both eat balanced.
Yes.
And I have great experience with someone who has allergies with my husband. So he's gluten-free, egg-free, dairy-free.
He is free.
That man can't, he's free. he can't hardly eat anything. And so we have to really work to get him to a place where he's getting in enough calories and getting all of the nutrients he needs to, because he can't eat all of the things. And that's really what is most important, is to make sure you're getting everything that you need and that you feel great when you're eating.
Yes.
So it doesn't matter. And listen, I'm an animal lover, but I still eat them. And that whole thing, there are people, so you have the people, and remember, a lot of marketing goes into these things. So when you
yes.
have these people that are pushing their special diet or their special book or whatever, and they tell you things like, when you eat meat, it sits in your gut and rots. Y'all, that is not what happens.
It sits in your gut and then it comes out.
Yes.
Or it's absorbed.
There are foods that do process faster.
Yes.
You know, carbohydrates,
Yes.
as soon as they hit your mouth, your body is starting to process them. So yes, they break down and pass through us easier. But you do not have years of sludge built up in your colon. I mean, I've heard these things on the radio, and I'm like, if that's true, you are in dire need of being in the hospital.
You need more than a cleanse.
Yes. And it's like, this is not what happens in our bodies. We eat food and our body digests it.
Yes.
And it gets absorbed.
Right.
What we need gets absorbed, and what we don't gets eliminated.
Expelled. Yes.
And if your body is not processing like that, you have an issue.
Yes.
A medical issue. This is not what happens just from you eating meat. That you get clogged up. It just kills me, that stuff. So there you go.
Yes.
So we are going to ban the labels. We are going to
Yes.
eat healthy and balanced and eat all the foods.
Eat all the good foods of the world. Yes.
Please. And Heather and I will sign off today as not vegans.
Or vegetarians.
We hope y'all have the best day. Go eat you some delicious food and make sure it makes you feel your absolute best.
Yes. Like and subscribe.
Thank you. Bye.